Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited to starting a new playlist on computer networking. And trust me, it's going to be very interesting one. We are going to cover each and every concept involved in computer networking. By the end of this playlist, you will clearly understand what computer network is and what are the concepts are involved in it. All you need to do that, please make sure that watch the video till the end. Alright, let's start by understanding the importance of computer networking and why we need to learn. We all know that whenever you do any activity on a computer or a laptop, it requires networks. You have to enable this one. Without enable it, you can't even connect to anything, whether it's a system, server, or service. In fact, the internet is the backbone for almost every technology if you see in today's fast-paced market. Whatever we do, we need the internet. And also, no matter what your role in tech, whether you are a network engineer, developer, or cloud professional, even if you are a fresher, understanding the network is more essential. And if you are looking to build a career in cybersecurity, then networking becomes even more critical. As I mentioned in my previous video, and a foundational cybersecurity skills, the network forms the base layer of your cybersecurity skill set. The more you understand the networking, the easier it will be learn and master in cybersecurity concepts. If you observe closely, you will find out that many cyber attacks that are rooted in weakness within the networks, which is why learning computer networking is not an optional. It's a mandatory. And also we will be covering the following topics on this playlist. Okay, we will start with history of the networking. So you first understand how it all evolved. Then we will explore the types of networks, followed by the network devices that enable communication between the systems. After that, we will dive into OSI model, which provides a theoretical understanding of how communication happens between two devices. Once you understand that, we will move into the practical side, where we will learn how the TCP/IP protocol suite works in the real world. Finally, we will look into it how to troubleshoot network issues using common commands and different tools. So this is the structure of our computer networking playlist. This is designed to give a strong and complete understanding from the scratch. Okay. So without wasting time, let's get started with our first topic, that is history of the computer networking. You might be wondering why we are starting with the history of networking. Why not jump straight into the technical stuff? Well, here's the thing. If you clearly understand how the internet was formed, then everything technical that follows will make much more sense and it is feel easier to understand. Instead of diving directly into the technical terms, it's important to know how it all began, the kind of problems people faced, and the smart ideas that solved them. And also, this is not a just boring history. This is actually the story how our world got connected. It's very important to know. By the end of this video, you will have a complete picture of how internet evolved and how it became the backbone for everything which we are using today. Okay, first let's look at the history. Okay, it's all started in the year of 1960. The world was not really a safe place. You know why? Two powerful countries like the US and Soviet Unions were enemies. People were living in the constant fear of nuclear war. What if the war actually breaks out and phone lines goes down? Then how we are going to communicate further? So they decided that they need a new kind of communication system, something that would still work even some parts got destroyed. So that's when the two really smart researchers started working on this problem from two different countries. That is Paul Barron from the US, Donald Davis from UK. Okay, so these four people started working on this issue and they came up with the powerful idea called packet switching. Okay, before this idea, all communication used to work like a phone call, something like direct line from one person to another. And the problem with that was, the line goes down, the whole message would get failed. But these two scientists thought differently. They said that if we break the message into small pieces, which we call packets, Each packet can travel different paths to reach the other side. Even if one path fails, the rest can still go through the other routes. The computer will then collect all the packets which is sent by the source, then put them back together to form a complete message. It's like sending a letter with many small envelopes. Each envelope might take different route, but in the end, they all reach the same address to form one complete message. So this is what they found. Then in 1969, the US Secret Research Agency called ARPA, they came across this idea called packet switching. And they thought, hey, why don't we use this technology on a computers instead of relying on the old telephone communication system? They did something interesting. So what did they do? They connected 4 computers from the different universities and research labs. They were not just at random computers. They were top universities. Basically, they were building a communication system between these 4 universities. They built this network and tried sending the first message over it. The message was supposed to be sent the word login, but the system actually crashed after just 2 letters LO, and that's how LO became the first ever internet message sent. Slowly in the 1970s, more and more computers started getting connected to the network. Universities were creating their own networks, and research labs had their own system. Even some companies were setting up their own small networks. But then another problem came up. Each of these networks spoke a different language, so they couldn't really talk each other properly. Imagine one person speaks French, one person speaks Japanese, someone else speaks Hindi, but none of them can understand each other. As a result, this communication becomes super slow and messy and confusing. Once again, ARPA and the US government came into the picture, and they realized something important. They thought, okay, this is not going to work if every organization have its own kind of network. So we need a one global network where all the machine can speak one language. That's the only we can connect everything across the world. Then they decided to fund 2 brilliant computer scientists. The first one is Went Cerf, and second one is Bob Kahan. Okay, these 2 people started working on this problem and completed a technology, a language called TCP/IP protocol. These 2 protocols really made the internet possible. So what they do, TCP stands for Transmission Control Protocol. I'm just giving you an overview here. We'll talk more about the TCP later. Just try to understand that TCP is the one who breaks our data into small packets. It makes sure those packets reach safely, reorder them at other end, reassemble the packet into the original message. Then there's an IP, which stands for Internet Protocol. Once the TCP breaks the data into packets, IP decides that best path for the packet to reach the destination. It's like the postal system for the internet. It's figure it out where each packet needs to go and how it should get there. So together, TCP/IP became the universal language for all the networks. Based on the TCP/IP protocol suite, many more protocols were built, things like a DNS, SNMP, and more. This was the foundation that made the global internet possible. So once everyone got to know that there was one network that could connect computers, even people started working on the different protocols on top of TCP/IP. Then came another turning point in the history of the internet, that is birth of World Wide Web. In the late 1980, the British scientist named Tim Berners-Lee, who is working at CERN, large research lab in Switzerland. Okay, this CERN has a major problem. There were thousands of scientists all using different computers and storing research data in different formats. Everyone had their own way organizing the information. Sharing it was very difficult and messy. Then Tim had a brilliant idea. Why don't we have a simple way to link all this information together? For an example, if someone visits one page, why can't it redirect them to another page with related information? Why can't all it work like a big web? This one idea changed the world forever. Then Tim started working on this problem and he came up with the 3 key technologies that made all the possible. What are they? The first one is HTML, the second one is URL, and third one is HTTP. Okay, let's go through them one by one. First, HTML. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. You guys all know that it is a simple coding language that used to build the web pages. You can think of it like a bricks of the web. With HTML, you can create headings, paragraphs, insert images, links, and much more. Without HTML, website wouldn't even exist. This was the first thing the team invented to build their very first web page. Okay, once you have this new language and then can build multiple pages, the next question is how will people find the access these pages? That's where the URLs come into the picture. URL stands for Uniform Resource Locator. It is a unique address for every web page, like google.com. It tells your browser exactly where to go get the page. Without URL, it would be like trying to find a house with no address. So team gave each web page a proper address to make navigation possible. And third one is HTTP. Now we have web page and address. The next problem is how does your computer talk to the web page? So there has to be a protocol and it has set of rules to make the connection to the server. That's where HTTP comes in. The HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Think of it like a postman of the web page. When you click on any link, HTTP takes your request to the web server and bring back the response to your browser. So this protocol made it possible to actually retrieve the web page over the internet. Okay. After creating these three, HTML, URL and HTTP, Tim launched the first website ever. Let's look at the first website of the World Wide Web created by Tim. So this is the website. Okay, it was a very simple page, just explaining what is the World Wide Web and how people could create their own web pages. There were no videos, no images, not even colors, just basic text. Before this invention, okay, the internet was mostly used by scientists, engineers, and government employees. But after Tim's creation, the web made the internet visual, clickable, and user-friendly. Now anyone can create a website, anyone can browse, read, learn, and explore. Okay, the World Wide Web truly transformed the internet. After this, the internet started booming. Everybody wanted to get online. Okay, the companies like Yahoo, Amazon, and others started launching their own websites. They invested a lot of time, money, and energy into the building their presence of the World Wide Web. If you look at today, there are billions of the websites online. Based on this, then came another big shift around 2005 to 2015. Social media. The social media entered the scene. Earlier, people were mostly just reading the content. But now, people started posting, sharing, creating the content. Okay? Platforms like YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram made the internet more personal and social. If you look at the world today, the internet is everywhere. We use it for learning, working, shopping, talking, watching videos, and even controlling the smart home devices with AI, like cloud computing and fast 5G networks. The internet just keeps evolving and growing. Okay, so this is the story of how the internet was formed. I hope this gave you a clear idea how it all started and how far we have come. We'll meet again in the next video with another interesting topic. Until then, take care. Bye bye.